So there is a video that Roger has uploaded on January 8th. I believe this is really insane. I have a previous audio that you guys will hear right after, and that audio was me stating that hopefully he doesn't cause anything or put himself out there online, and well, he did it. The purpose of this video is because not only that I had a small incident that happened between Bliss and 𝕽𝖊𝖋𝖊𝖋𝖊𝖗, and when Bliss was actually at the time um, blaming me for trying to help between his side of his story between Roger and helping Roger to get along with each other and move on. Let's say perhaps I advised Mr. Roger to move on, most likely. We all are very uncomfortable with stuff that he posts and talk about. Just finding out that he made a video today, I honestly, not today, sorry. The video that he uploaded yesterday, which clearly I missed out because I was really busy watching the new Joker 2 movie, which I thought it was okay. I'm clearly upset because I took the time to talk to his mother to convince her to help her son out. Um, you know, just get him offline because, well, he's not very malicious with the stuff he does, like intentionally malicious. He just doesn't know better, and the guy really needs help because he's severely ill. I told the dude, hey man, just not come back online. I clearly told him, don't upload the video, don't talk to anyone, just talk to people that he knows that is his friends. And I met some of his friends that he can focus on, including his local friends, but I'm not upset that he apologized. I, in my end, I forgive you, Roger. I will say it's a little hard to trust you now because I advised you not to upload the video, and I advised you not to just not put yourself out there to cause attention. And so, and just to add it here, he is clearly very disabledly ill, and so I just don't have the decency, like I said again, to keep harassing or to keep making fun of someone who is very ill. While he is this 20-year-old guy in his 20s who should have some common sense, knowing him, it's so hard for him. And at the end of the day, you had to get a doctor medically and your parents to help him out. And that's where it comes more their responsibility. On his new video, there is 12 minutes and 18 seconds. He suggested to, let's say, take pills to end his life. I have some people that I know of. I used to even feel this before, and I'm gonna be real with you. I used to feel, suicidal before, but it's not the answer, This is why I suggested you, Roger, if you're watching or you're still there, because, I told you just to take a break and not get online for any reason, to look for any trouble or to bother anyone, so no mess can be around you. Well, I just told you, just avoid all that so your mental health won't be well. Um, you know, I used to be in your shoes where I had a few people on YouTube who invested in their time making, again, a scandal about me. A video just to, I guess, get me off of YouTube, sharing lies. So, what I basically done is taking a break from making YouTube videos from this channel. And instead of that, sometimes I even like stress out about personal things in my life. I would take a break. And that's okay. You can take a break from things that are harming you. You can take a break for your emotional needs. And that's just what you need to do. That's just what the guy needs to do. And I'm hoping this would end as soon as possible. I really do not suggest that you come back February. That is next month. It is not good for your health and your condition at all. Hi, long time no see. I have not made a video in a while. Um, I may explain that later or I may not. So, I honestly didn't feel like making a video immediately because I'm just looking at the fact that we had Christmas coming up. So, I didn't feel comfortable talking about the weird event, but thank you patiently for waiting. So I just made this video just in case like anybody wanted to know what fully happened. And I know some of you guys are very curious about what I have discussed with Ticci's mother, Ticci, Roger, Little White Seal, whatever. He has a bunch of name changes. Um, Let me start from here. I received a message, weird enough, from Mr. Ticci, Roger, whatever. I think I'm just gonna give him like some random name because I know the guy is Roger or Rob, and the guy insists that you don't call him by that name. But I received a message of him talking about people harassing him or talking shit about him online. I really don't want to say too much names, but I have to say honestly, um, we have someone by the name of Bliss who was involved in this problem that he basically was talking about. So he was like, Taylor, Bliss is harassing me again. I didn't bother him for 4 months. He's accusing me of being a white knight of Larry Hughes because I said that he might not intentionally mean to do that to minors. But doing the same to artists is illegal. I already deleted my post about this woman who was going after her username, Justin. I honestly don't know these people, especially Justin. Um, I believe it was a few weeks ago or a month ago. I'm gonna say a month ago just to be safe, and I think it's better to say I sorted out an issue with Blizz and Rob together, and I just advised them, just apologize and move on. So instead of keeping the chat personal between Rob or just saying like, "Hey man, leave me alone," I did it again. I tried to help out to tell them just to stay each other's back because a few of you guys have probably experienced with you know if two people have a disagreement or an argument online, right? And um some people just go on about it, and it can be small or it can be over the top ridiculous, and that has been me. Except I'm not the person who usually starts it. I'm not the person who feels like I have to make a video or expose the person. I will explain that a little later on in this video. I honestly did not want to invest in myself too much with this issue that they had going on. So whatever issue that Rob just explained to me that he had. I just mainly advised the guy, do not reply to anybody. Do not talk to anyone on YouTube because obviously half of you guys in this audience, or most of you guys in the audience, doesn't like the dude. He's not malicious or evil or very, very delusional like most of you guys who are very entertained and invested in news about Larry Hughes or some other sicko out there. Um, for me in this situation, I was trying my best to be optimistic, and that is just because, again, it's drama. Now, this person Blizz, and I'm gonna say the other people who are involved, knowing about me trying to help between both of them, I have been saying that the situation's petty, and that's because simply this is what it is. Rob said something that was nice. Only thing I understood is that whoever he had issues with involving with Blizz, just to me, they were saying unkind stuff back and forth with each other. Rob is saying, leave me alone, don't bother me. Blizz said the same thing. So to me, I feel like if I just be neutral to the situation, tell them both of them just get in line together, get in line together. Just move on, leave each other alone. Because it's very frustrating. It doesn't, um, man, I'm just like thinking of everything I could say top of my head. It's not scripted or anything. It's just, it doesn't make sense. It's a waste of time um, to discuss anything petty, small. So I'm looking through the chat while I'm doing this at the same time. This has been going on from December 13, 14, obviously, 15, I believe, and I'm gonna go all the way down. I believe this was the 15th to the 17th, so it's probably between 4 to 5 days, as I'm just saying in my head. But basically, Rob has said some unkind stuff. Rob has been saying that people are talking about him, harassing him online. The issue he mostly told me is that Mr. Bliss was telling people to stay away from him. He's being a creep, being a weirdo. Rob was telling me, you know, I just feel really bad because this guy is explaining to people that you shouldn't talk to me. He's breaking up lies. I'm not trying to do anything on purpose. Some of you guys know his mannerism. Um, One event, this guy was literally like calling me. Um, this was kind of like after this event. Um, Rush is familiar. He had an event where he said something very unkind about Jewish people and his beliefs and his culture. He almost got in trouble, so me and a few others explained to him not to say anything unusual or weird. But this next coming one, this guy was crying to me. This was 2 or 3 months ago that this teenager online was talking shit about him because I think the discussion was about age gap or the discussion was about dating. I'm not sure. But overall, me and a few people who are watching this video just took the time to tell the dude, like, hey, it's just some stuff you need to keep to yourself. Chill out. Get off the internet for a minute. Start over. So, I just suggested the man to do something way different because, look, me and the homies, we just, we pretty much just feel like he gets himself in a lot of trouble. But like I say, he's not malicious intentionally. And I say that because, if you tell the guy he does something wrong, he's very sensitive. He'll cry, he'll feel bad, he kind of overreact. Now, I do believe he may be aggressive if you argue with them, but not too aggressive. It's just I've seen other people react to situations where they're very defensive. I guess that's why I kind of give them the benefit of the doubt, because let's say I took a lot of patience just to deal with Rob, and honestly, it's very uncomfortable that I took the time to talk to the dude and just tell him, hey, chill out, deal with the situation better, just don't talk to people. Because he would just say, again, just unusual stuff, and it doesn't click in his mind. And that's because simply, the guy says he has so many mental issues, disabilities. And to me, if a person's disabled or ill, you know, I guess I was taught from my upbringing, well, you have to be kind of nice and respect them a little bit if they don't know better, and don't push them, you know, overboard them. Don't just cause any mess, right? But unfortunately, some people online, they have been doing that, just pushing him over the top. But anyways, I'm gonna get to the next part. Really, it's just really strange. Um, I'm sorry I'm like pausing a lot and saying because I didn't think I would just make this video, but I know some of you guys are mostly curious about what I have talked about with his flip me mom. So all the other information I got from Rob instead of Bliss is telling people that hate on him, right? I decided to take a few screenshots back and forth to Bliss. Maybe I could have handled it differently. Because, like I said, you know, I decided to help out between two people having problems against each other. I decided to do that. I didn't have to do that. I could have opted out. I'm gonna speak her name. Van Prick was right about it. I didn't have to get myself involved. But I just gave a shit because no, you don't want to have a lot of people with a lot of patience to deal with this shit, and I have some of those experiences. A lot of these was just coming up every time. Um, he will keep saying that Blizz and other people kept talking about him again. They make this post. Then he told me Vampiric made a YouTube channel about him. Basically, I believe, just to try to simplify it the best I can, it just got on my nerves because this is what I look at it. You know, I know how this guy at. Um, I really am not sure, and I really don't remember how he got into my life. But I think it's mostly those Larry Hughes videos. And then I have a Discord server. I mean, it's up to you guys. Link is in the description. Um, he joined a server. I had a few group calls, and he joined the talk. And when you have a person who has, speech issues or whatever, I'm not saying that's a problem, but where you could tell they may have something going on with them. And that's how I was first introduced to him. I believe this was last year. Um, man, I don't know. He's just the way he is. Very eccentric. And to me, I personally believe he was naive. But it was just continuing back and forth. He personally was telling me that people were bothering him the next day, the next day. In my mind, I'm like, just don't read it, okay? If Blizz or whoever was involved making content about the guy, I just told him to ignore it. So that wasn't clear enough. Then I told Mr. Bliss to do the same thing. Just drop all this post because he keeps crying to me about him having issues with people talking shit about him online. Just drop it. And let me recheck here. It was a certain time. I'm just gonna, explain this fast as enough as I can because I'm not gonna really break it down too much at all. Um, Let's see. It seems like it has been the 17th of the day, but for some weird reason, there was a user who invited Mr. Rob into a group call, and it has everyone who's been complaining about basically Rob's existence. And he went back and told me that they joined a group chat to harass him. And since 𝕽𝖊𝖋𝖊𝖋𝖊𝖗 heavily involved because she invested in making videos about him, let's say that hey, um, she went in there. Apparently, he said he harassed her, but she made a recording, obviously, where she exposed him for saying that you have to speak a certain way with autism, which is not true. You know, some people with autism speak perfectly fine. Maybe it's common when you're a little kid, but overall, it doesn't even matter. You don't have to have autism to speak a funny way. Some people are just ill or really disabled, but you can't judge them in a certain way, right? I believe the 18, he then told me that, hey, I am into it. I have not listened to you taking your advice, Taylor. You told me to not be invested in any type of group chats or any comments about me on YouTube. So he apologized for joining the chat. Now, also before then, I believe it was between the 16 and 17, instead of me advising Blizz and telling to tell others and telling himself to not make any post about Raw, so he won't be pinging me, and he won't ping others. I also advised him just to clearly not look at any post about Raw and not to bother him. Now, to me, I feel like these are simple things. To me, I just knew that if there will be any back and forth conversation, back and forth contribution about whoever talks about each other online, especially on YouTube, and you keep looking at posts like that, I knew things would go down here. I just kept advising both sides, hey, you don't want to keep wasting your time because that's going to mentally drain your health for one. Number two, you're wasting your time. Number three, it's not going to go anywhere. Like, you can talk about the person all day, all you want. It could be making a video about them every day. When I had to hit it with that, well, you could do better time. Read a book. Go to work. Draw. Game. Do something healthy over something small. A conversation about what he, she, they said. That's basically what I understood. And I've been through this rodeo with Ticci because he's been saying some weird shit. I'm not gonna lie. He has been saying some weird fucking shit. And all of us are sick and tired of hearing it. And no offense, I am honestly sick and tired of some of the whining he does. Um, I don't know how else to best explain it in a way. If you just be invested in what a person says horrible about you, like a lot, like really a lot, and you don't know the person very well, and you're not close to them, it's just a big waste of time. You're hurting yourself. Um, I also use as an example, it's not something very serious like a life-threatening situation. He may have said stuff about people with disorders. He may say something about age gap. He may have called somebody name like ugly, stupid, or fat. As long as you do your part to help someone improve, help somebody, either if it's him or anyone, to stop. And if they don't listen, sometimes you have to let them be. And to me, I have explained to Blizz and his other allies, If you keep making videos about it, eventually you'll be bored. Eventually you're going to feel like you wasted your time. And it's not good because it's really not going to go anywhere. Especially to someone who, I hate to say it, Rob is ill. Very ill. So I gave him that suggestion. The only thing I understood is that they were in an argument between how each person uses their disability and illness to discuss about problems and matters. What really should have been done is that both sides should have left each other alone, not make posts about each other, and, well, let's say, of course, not have any excuses, for one's actions. And the other side, who is against Roth, let's say they suggested that he was using excuses. So this was dripping me mad because this drama would go not anywhere. It would go nowhere. And I try to empathize the best I can to suggest that, hey, I know it hurts. I know it's tiring. But just move on. Don't discuss about something tiny or whatever they said, he said, whoever both said, just move on. Unless it's something very serious. Something very serious. Super serious. Like if Raw made a threat, something serious to, I guess, discuss about it. So if Blizz made a threat, something serious to discuss over. You know, I have explained it to them. I was just very tired of really explaining myself. So what I can understood is that matters became worse. Miss Bamberg has made she didn't like out me too much, but I listened to a video. Only thing she was mostly concerned is if I was taking sides, right? And all I was doing is trying to be neutral with everyone, tell everyone to take care of themselves and not make the problem worse. But however, apparently, we were in a small group chat. This probably was the 18 or the 19, where they were asking me, silly questions like, "Are you okay with someone telling them that they are not autistic based on how they talk? Are you okay with someone being racist and sexist? Like what? You're asking me that? Like, of course not." And this is why some people who are my friends and some people in the audience, well, I have experienced racism, especially obviously I'm a black woman. Number two, I obviously try to help cool down from the Larry situation and help him get him off of YouTube. So with these silly questions, of course I'm not okay with it. But they were just really frustrated about me trying to work both of their problems out. While I kept insisting that no one was in the right, I did it fairly. So it would not seem like I am picking sides, but I knew if I did that, it would be a lot more problems. That's why I equally said just let the problem go. And let's say the ones who kept talking about Rob didn't particularly let it go because they kept talking about him, and I witnessed that he hasn't like made any content about them back then, except I believe on the 16 and 15 he just said like leave me alone, don't bother me. I am, in my opinion, not too against him, saying that he apologized, but I am against that he said that he should be left alone, not bother me, and then explain what they have done wrong. Maybe in this video you can tell this is very exhausting because the drama is silly, it's goofy, okay? It's silly and goofy. Now, if anyone docks anybody, say that they're going to kill their family, or they're going to beat up their mom and dad, if they're going to go and drop a bomb in the state or something, it will be more serious. But to me, is really not at all. Overall, after the event, after I tried to speak with Mr. Bliss, Mrs. Bambrick, I did suggest that, hey, if you, well, can work with me and can listen to me about taking my advice on letting go, and if you can try to be patient with me, I can help, you know, see if I can convince Mr. Rob's mother to, you know, convince him to get off the internet, do something better his time, focus on his mental health. Now, unfortunately, um, while they were asking me silly questions like, am I okay with them doing something silly or bad? Why you keep telling me to, drama's childish, which I didn't really want to be in an argument because it was a waste of time. They kept dodging the full picture. And I don't really appreciate it because it hurts a lot when you talk down to someone who's trying to help about the situation. Of course, that's not fully involved. Versus, um, you could get mad at someone who's actually fully trying to take sides with whatever serious, silly situation, or someone who just probably does nothing about it, right? Um, it didn't make complete sense. So, Mr. Rob has contacted me, and I'm just like, what's up? My auntie wants me to talk, wants me to let you know that she's ready to talk. So I'm just like, cool, okay, whatever. But I feel like some of you guys felt very annoying, so I took a call, missed it, tried again, spoke with his mother. Um, this is the nice part. I will remember as much as I can. I'm sorry I didn't record a conversation between Rob and his mom, but I did that with Larry's mother. But this time I haven't. Especially his mother says some, well, very personal stuff, funny stuff, actually, too, that could have been more embarrassing if I put them out there. But I will say what I have told his mother. I told his mother that, he'll go online, he'll post stuff about his family, which I really, um, with the type of person that Rob is, I dislike it. Because I believe he posted something about his grandmother. I believe this was like last year. And um, this was at the time he got in trouble for talking about culture or something Jewish related. And I was just saying, well, man, I don't think you need to post anything like that. You should take that down. It's too personal. He's a short YouTuber. He's not doing something that is very inspirational or great. No offense. So I told him to take that personal information down. He had a personal picture of his grandmother. So he took that down. I told his mother about how, yeah, he said some racist stuff, including the Jewish junk. Um, I told his mother about the recent event when, he joined a call and Manfred recording him, just that small clip about him saying, autistic people have to sound like they, cannot talk properly. And I believe that's about it. I heavily try to, convince his mother to, ew. It was kind of mean, but I was just like, you need to take away his device. Maybe disable him from commenting on YouTube, right? Go click kids mode, maybe. And maybe he won't chat because to her, I guess she thinks that his son has sense to stop going on YouTube, stop going on Discord and bothering people, right? His sis is not that well, and I believe she's just allowing it to happen, or she probably doesn't care just a little bit. So I try to influence her to put more pressure to stop her son. And the only thing I receive from that feedback is that, hey, I'm gonna go and take away Rob's computer. Now, his mother really doesn't like that he calls himself 𝕽𝖊𝖋𝖊𝖗𝖃 and all these other names. She has been advising him to love himself and call himself as by his first name. I mean, it's understandable, I guess. You don't want people to know your name. To me, in my opinion, for just first names, is not too much of a big deal, you know? You can just say first name. Last name is understandable. Unless it's someone that is super close to you, or you got good friends, or you personally don't care about sharing your last name like me. I honestly don't care. But first name, I really don't see that as a problem. He has changed it. I'm assuming that this 𝕽𝖊𝖋𝖊𝖗𝖃 name is something he has because he probably feels like, man, everybody hates me on the internet. I'm so reclusive. I'm like not fitting in. Um, I really like this character, so I feel like I am 𝕽𝖊𝖋𝖊𝖃. Mother just kept saying, "Dude, that's not real. You need to be yourself," and I actually freaking agree. Not sure why I had a lengthy conversation, a little bit longer. But I will say this: I was doing my best to put his mother at ease. You know, she doesn't want Rob to go online, obviously, to get harassed. She wants Rob to focus on, going to school, getting his nice car, adulting, being responsible, instead of just doing stuff online and being in social media, just talking to people. I suggested that. Eventually, she thanked me. Um, at first, she did not want to trust talking to me, but once she heard me explain, like, hey, I'm just trying to help your son to focus on himself and get offline, I knew it would work. Because if I just, no offense, did what everyone else did, like Bliss and his friends, just saying, like, hey, he's a bad guy, call him names, make fun of him, like in front of his mother, it would not work. I had to be patient, mature, and you know when you have to speak to someone by their level and with respect, I have to do that. So I will apologize again that some of you guys who were heavily invested in, making shit content on Rob, that I you know, didn't come out very how to say it, convincing. I will apologize that you may have thought that I was really okay with him, with his actions, but obviously not. I was honestly doing my best to work it out, like how I worked out with the, you know, drama the first time, you know, Larry did some crazy shit. Resh, had a lot of support and a lot of views on, talking trash against Larry and making a lot of videos about him. I did just the rest of the chunk just to stop him, and he's trying to come back and he's still doing his shit. So I just thought it would be an opportunity to convince the dude to stop, being a weirdo. I'm talking about Rob, to stop being a weirdo and causing crap online. And honestly, I just still feel bad for the guy just because he can mean well for people. He has to work on himself and he just doesn't know better. I just feel bad with his mental state as well. And that's just me being very empathetic, still neutral to the situation. But I still stand by my word. No one was in the right. He definitely was in the right. And I wish he never joined those servers, joined those chats. I believe it just was like, man, I don't even know, 5 times. Especially, it was not too far. I think it was, man, was it like October, November? He came to me in the car crying. So when he did that, came to me call crying, and he was, telling me to help him, that's when I just like, man, this guy has a lot of issues, right? I could have just been like, help you, I don't care. I didn't do that typical, no offense, dumb shit everybody does. I just was like, alright, I'm just gonna try to be a good human being and try to have some decency. That's what I did, because that's what I stand for, personally. Overall, that's really it. Um, it's weird. I spot him changing his profile picture on Discord, and let's say he basically was typing down, please don't DM me. He announced that he's not going to be on Discord or YouTube for a while. Now, I will say this, I did suggest that he will be off for 3 months. But when I kept getting pings about the drama that was caused by the left side, I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm tired. You know what, dude, just get off the internet for 6 months to a year, because I don't want to deal with this. I'm sorry. It's so brutal with me to say this. I just did not want to deal with this crap. I just said, like, dude, I just say 6 months to a year, right? He says he wants to be an animator. I'm just like, even though his mother says you can't have your computer privileges, try to just focus on that. Draw. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I even asked the dude, what's your hobby? And I think I asked this 3 times. So, I don't freaking know. I'm confused because I was kind of hoping he would slow down. Oh, not even that, guys. Shit, it was last year when he said something about he didn't like Jewish people. He liked black people more. Bro, I asked him about his hobby. And I advised the dude, hey, just make better content online. Because I'm not sure. I had messages also from a YouTuber or a viewer called Chrome Hero who also had issues with him. So he had that Chrome Hero drama. And I was just like, dude, just stop texting him back and forth. Just apologize, chill, make better content, make positive content, right? Just, if you like drawing, just do your drawings. Now we also are aware he had other weird things. Like I said again, I don't know what's in some insane people's mind. I do not. I don't flipping agree with everything he does. It's outright weird. He just has to learn how to socialize right, or just not be back online. Okay. Oh man, I hate to think about that last thing he did. Jesus, it was just bored. Okay, it was just bored. But he has a lot of shit to work on. But I will say this: while I was trying to help with this drama and debrief it, bro, I'm tired. I'm not sure if you guys can tell. I'm just tired. I'm tired of hearing back and forth issues. I am tired of hearing that people just can't communicate in general. I'm just saying in general. I am tired of people not getting along. I also dealt with this, myself. I'm just tired, okay? You know, to resolve problems, communication is key, especially online. I know online is just a place where, yeah, we create our things we like, share our creations, whether it's music, um, art as in videos, films, animation, and I know there's a place where you make friends. But Jesus, when you go online, online is the place with a lot of insecure people, okay? People share their demons, they share who they truly are, they share their evil selves. And so, I explained that to his mother. I even explained that to Toby, or Ticci, whatever his name is. I'm just like, man, if you want to go online like this, you have to prepare, dude. You know? And he's not, no, he's literally not for it. So, I just like advise the dude, you might want to get out. We have insecure people online who go out and hurt each other on the internet. That shit is different if you do it in person. So it's just some things that we as humans have to learn how to overcome and not take personally, especially online when it comes to social media. YouTube has a place where you socialize and you hear people talk smack to each other. Twitter, 4chan, Instagram, basically everything that has a chat or whatever, right? And we all have flaws, we all have mistakes, but it will all come together when we all improve, learn, and of course, just get off your comfort zone overall. And things will be better because it happens, you know? Everybody has problems, everybody wants to talk crap about each other. It just won't resolve if you keep going on, especially if it's very petty. It will not resolve, eventually if you keep using your power to talk smack about someone, using your power to hurt somebody. Eventually that stuff just bites back at you. And then either when you realize it, or when you get older, or when, that time kicks you in the ass, you're like, man, I really did all this? So it's important to become a good person, a good example, and at least try to solve problems. I did talk about that in one of my videos about what to do with, you know, trolls, and I did mention it about it with one of my old videos about, issues and drama. Hopefully, this guy keep his word and not come back for a while. I hope it will be off for 6 months because he does not need to be off for 3 months, and I just changed my mind. Overall, I appreciate you guys taking time to watch this premiered stream. If you guys appreciate my help, I appreciate it. I will thank Blizz for, you know, apologizing and trying to simmer down the confusion and, well, he says like hatred. Um, sometimes in life, you know, you'll deal with a person like me who may, come out as a little blunt, and you may have someone in your life who face you with the harsh truth, and they try to help out with the situation, but it's not good to push away people who care and just say it real. I'm not sure how else can I say it, but you know you should really appreciate people who try to be there to help resolve problems. But overall, I appreciate you guys watching the premiere. I'm gonna cut this out, so stay tuned with my other next videos.